So I just got done watching M3GAN, and I honestly think this is one of the most self-aware horror movies in quite a while. And I honestly think a lot of you guys are probably going to enjoy this, but also probably find it to be incredibly stupid, but most of all, self-aware. And I overall enjoyed this movie. This movie actually surprised me because I watched the trailer for this and I thought it was going to be terrible. And I genuinely mean terrible. I did not know that a killer AI doll movie could be good. I didn't think so. But after watching this movie, I was impressed to a lot of different standards, and I'm actually really excited to talk about this movie, so I genuinely want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. If you like this movie, or if you are interested in seeing it, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as comment down below your guys' thoughts so we can have a great conversation. The movie comes out this week, so let's keep talking about it down there. But for people who don't know what this movie M3GAN is about. Well, it's about a robotics engineer at a toy company who built a lifelike doll that begins to take on a life of its own after it bonds with her niece that she is now taking care of after her parents die. Now, this is, of course, produced by Blumhouse and Atomic Monster. For people who don't know, Atomic Monster is James Wan's company. Blumhouse, of course, Jason Blum's company. So you got two masterminds of horrors coming together for a movie. And the last movie that James Wan made was a awesome horror movie called Malignant, which was also very self-aware of the tone that it was supposed to have. And I honestly think in a way this is kind of going to be the Malignant of this year. Two differences with this movie between this and Malignant is this movie's more of a social commentary on, of course, AI, toys, parenting, and certain things, maybe even a little bit of death. And Malignant very much had a wild, insane twist to it all, and M3GAN doesn't have any twist like that. Like, exactly what you see from the trailer is exactly the story you're gonna get from this movie. And I found myself kind of just intrigued, like, the entire way through. The movie actually opens up in a very, well, humorous, self-aware commercial, TV commercial, and from there, it sets up the avenues and dramatics of our main characters before M3GAN actually comes into their lives. And I was actually taken back by this commentary on death and the thematics of it all. And specifically, the big commentary I was talking about, and most notably, is becoming the guardian for someone in your family after they lost their parents. Now, we've seen in countless horror movies where a group of parents dies and someone has to take care of the kids, and the kids maybe don't get along with that guardian, and maybe some spooky stuff starts happening. We've seen that countless times before, but there's something about the performances in this movie that actually elevated the film and its thematics a little bit higher than I was expecting, and the way that this film actually touches on, well, what about the guardian? Usually they frame the guardian as being a piece of shit or someone that doesn't know what they're doing, but they actually really hone in on the guardian in here. And that was actually one of the most surprising aspects of this entire film, was that. So I do want to mention that the performances in here from Allison Williams, who plays Gemma, the main character in this, is absolutely stellar. I really believed her pain and her frustrations with what she was trying to do. And a kid now in her life, also trying to balance that and trying to be a parent and a friend, but at the same time trying to balance her job. There's certain elements in there that I think were really, honestly fascinating. And of course, diving into the kid performances with Violet McGraw, who plays Katie, the main young child in here. Now, first off, I thought Violet was absolutely incredible in this. A lot of child actors, specifically in horror movies, can be very hit or miss, but for me, I actually thought she was one of the big stars in this movie, and maybe some people might not love her performance, but for me, I actually really believe that she would be a kid like this, and the obsession you see that she really gets drawn to M3GAN is something that you see in so many countless kids today. They make a lot of references to, like, screen time on here, and I don't know how many of you guys have ever worked in retail or been to a restaurant and seen kids just plopped onto that damn iPad, and that's all you ever see. In fact, sometimes you even see parents doing it, and they, again, touch on those aspects. With both of them, the major shout out you have to make to this movie is M3GAN herself, played by Amy Donald and also voiced by Jenna Davis. Now, both of them really come to frame a character that honestly could have came off in the most cheesy aspects of all. And while, again, this movie can be very cheesy, them together actually made for an insanely creepy toy that you genuinely believed in. Actually, the effects, the prosthetics, the makeup, everything that went around to this performance also elevated this. So there was never a sigh of tension. Like, at first you sit there and you're like, this I can actually believe in. And the way that they actually lean in and bring M3GAN to life is one of the biggest aspects to why it doesn't look like that uncanny valley. Like, there's something off here. There is something clearly off here, but it fits for the whole tone of the movie, and again, adds to that self-aware nature of it all. And again, I can't emphasize enough how much I love the performances from Allison Williams, Violet McGraw, Amy Donald, and of course Jenna Davis, who does the voice of M3GAN. And I think they make this movie what it is. Honestly, the direction from Gerald Johnstone is good in here. I don't think it's bars none the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I think it's good and it's serviceable for the script because James Wan did do the story for this, and of course Akilah Cooper actually wrote the screenplay. Now, for me, James Wan is one of my favorite horror minds in Hollywood right now. I think this guy can honestly poop out gold. It does not matter. When it comes down to horror, this guy makes unique stuff and always plays in hand in that, and I'm excited to see the ventures that him and Blumhouse are going to be doing in the future because this is the first feature we're getting, and we're going to get more insanity like this. That makes me excited. And honestly, after watching this movie, I think this has the potential to be a box office gold, specifically if you know what you're watching. If I get a comment on this video saying that movie was stupid, what did you expect watching the trailer? Did you not expect that exact thing? Because that's what I expected, and it kind of surprised me a little bit more. I wasn't scared. There's some fun jump scares for sure, but you see them all coming. And I think that's the one thing, is that as long as a film can play self-aware, you can still have fun with it and make fun of it and have fun with it. And this is kind of one of those films that you'll watch with one of your friends, or you grab a group of friends and you just go and have fun. When this thing goes on streaming, there are going to be watch parties every Halloween because of it. And at the end, like, I just sat there going, that was a lot of fun. And I laughed, I jumped, I smiled, and I thought, yeah, this is kind of stupid, but I can't stop having fun with it. And I think when you go to the movies to kick off 2023, I mean, what is there to say? You want to have fun. All the fun I did have with this movie, and that M3GAN does provide exactly what you want. The one thing I actually did want a little bit more from this movie, and I just found out actually yesterday that this was PG-13 because I saw an article saying that they toned it down from an R rating from the blood and gore because this was the scarier version they can do. I do not believe that. I genuinely do not. Sometimes I will say blood and gore is not needed in a horror movie. I mean, look at The Conjuring. The Conjuring was awesome, and you didn't have blood and gore, but it was still rated R because it was absolutely terrifying. But that could have easily passed for a PG-13 movie. And I think looking at this movie, this is a movie that actually would have been elevated from an R rating. If you looked at Malignant, if Malignant was PG-13, that movie would be, I don't think that movie would be even half as good. I honestly mean that because a lot of the kills in here, they pull away from them, and you do see glimpses of them, but it just feels very, I've seen this all before. Every kill I've seen before, and I feel like there would have been a more fun and humorous moment to each and every one of them if they added for the blood and guts. I think that is one thing that is missing in this movie, and it's actually one thing that I kept thinking about the entire way through, is that I wish this was gorier. Because while it does take a tonal shift towards the back half, because it needs to, it works. It's just that would have elevated the entire film from here to here. I think adding in there, that wouldn't have restricted the director Gerald at all, and I think this is a film that is held back a little bit from the editing department. I think Gerald maybe would have had a more swiftiness to all the camera effects and just in general some of the direction styles, because this very much is a bare bone basics horror film that just has a really fun concept, some very self-aware moments that make this film different than what you would expect it to be. In the movie is exactly what the trailer sells you on, and some more. A completely self-aware, insane horror movie that has some great social commentary on parroting, AI, and even death. You'll laugh, you'll jump, you'll go home never wanting your kid to play with the toy again. And I enjoyed M3GAN for what it was. Maybe you won't, maybe you will. If you've seen the trailer, that's exactly what this film is selling you on, and you're gonna have a blast of a time. So with all that said, I'm gonna give M3GAN a B. Thank you once again, guys, for watching this. You guys are really all the best. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, comment down below your guys' thoughts, and of course, until next time, stay classy.